We're almost up to 100 cats this year of trapping and neutering and releasing.
That's
And I think
great.
half of them went to shelters to be adopted. We also happened to reunite a lost cat with their
Nice.
owners, and that they were separated for a couple of months because it got out while they were moving to a new place.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it was kind of all hope is lost, but she found him. He stunk to high heaven, and she did not care.
good adventures, everybody. I'm Melissa Bonzak, and welcome to episode 127 of Books Cubed, the show where I chat with authors you should be reading. Today, I am talking cats, magic, and pizza with AE McKenna. Let's get right to it, and I'll see you after. We are talking to AE McKenna, and I am so excited to share her new book with you. This is it. Isn't it gorgeous? If you are not on the video version, you should be, because this is called Vision and Lies. It is, I have just started it, but we're going to chat about it. And welcome AE to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, she's if you are a follower, she has been on the show a few times, and we she's been on when we've done the roller prompt shows, and she wrote a story that was amazing. And I'm going to figure out which episode it was, and I'm going to link it in the show notes, because I want a trilogy based on the short story that she wrote. And I bug her every now and then about it, and she's like, "Stop talking about that. I've moved on."
Yeah. To be fair, yes, but it was cool.
It was beginning, a middle, and end, and it had me wanting a lot more, which is really what you want with a story.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice little bolt of inspiration, and then it just kind of and it's gone.
Yeah, well, you did what you needed to do. You wrote a really great short story, and hopefully you someday send it off to some magazines or to some places where they accept short stories, because it was that good.
Oh,
Now,
thanks.
oh, yeah, it was. And so we're going to talk today about Visions and Lies, which is her newest Starglen novel. And yeah, we're each going to hold up a copy. It is a beautiful cover. We did a show together in Deadwood last
Yeah,
June,
yeah,
and
June.
I watched a lady walk past her table and then come back and look at this cover and went, "I must have that book." And she bought it. Oh, it was the other one, My Fair Potion.
Yeah, it was this one because Visions and Lies was pre-order at the time. But yeah, she's like, "Oh my gosh." And I said something to her. I believe I said something like it's My Fair Lady meets who's the next Food Network star, but with a better romance and potions.
Yeah. And it was this one helped me get over. I'm holding up My Fair Potion, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover and a great
Thank
story, and it
you.
helped me get over my reading slump. When I first started reading it, I was still in a slump, and we've both been in a reading slump. And so I
Yeah.
was reading one or two pages at a time, and I was really getting into the story, but I just could not sit still to read. And I think I'd just been sitting still, too still lately. And then I had a day that I wasn't doing anything, and I read two-thirds to a half of it in one sitting, and went, "Oh, I can't put it down." And then my reading slip was over, and I've been plowing through books since. So let's start with this
Great.
one, since we were talking about My Fair Potion.
Yeah.
Tell us about this one.
That one is about a gifted and blacklisted alchemist who was on a competition show to get her own TV show. And she was betrayed by another contestant. And not only did she lose, she got, she got accused of murder later on, you know.
Good
But,
stuff.
she was acquitted, and then the mystery remained unsolved. And then she meets this one dude that hadn't gotten the formal education. So they're like, education is gatekept in this thing. Like, if you don't have the education, you can't do it, and you have to work really hard to get it. It's kind of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people don't take you seriously either if you don't have it. And so she found this guy who had the skill but not the know-how, and she's like, "Well, I can teach you, and if I teach you, you have to go on this show and win, and then we'll expose everything, and they won't fall in love while it happens."
Yeah.
It's got a lot of forced proximity in it and reverse grumpy sunshine. Yeah, because she's grumpy and he's the sunshine. And, a lot of it talks about the cancel culture too, because she gets canceled so many times. It ruins her business. It's like she's like, I think I might have to leave to start over, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really liked the magic in this one.
Oh yeah, lay energy. Yeah, everyone has magic, and everyone has a chance to be an alchemist, a caster, or an enchanter. And if you're born on a solstice, you're ace, which means you're all three, most likely. And then your magic, your casting ability is based on your horoscope, where you're born on. So like people who are born in November, like in who are a Scorpio, like me, they're water signs. Or if you're a Leo, you're a fire sign, that sort of thing. And that's the magic that you have.
And so that's the first book in your
Mm.
series. And
Yes.
it's not continuing characters, right?
No,
People can
it's
read them
it's
out
an
of order,
interconnected series, but new main characters, and you can read them in any order.
which is really nice because often I will buy the eighth book in a series now
Right?
realizing, and it's like, oh, come on, I have to go read the first seven now to know what the hell's going on.
Right, right. That's happened to me a few times before where I'm super confused and I realize it's book three.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got Starglen.
Yeah, Star Glen. It takes place in Northern California, so it's the southern part of the Pacific Northwest. Star Glen has a huge ley nexus of nodes underneath it, so it's like a mecca for alchemists and enchanters, and it's also got a great biome, so you can go and forage your reagents and everything without having to pay a ton of prices.
I loved when the scenes where they went into the woods to forage. I
Oh,
really felt like it was there. And I used to live in California, so it really felt I was wandering, looking at those trees and being out in nature again.
Oh yeah. The setting was actually inspired by visiting my in-laws, my husband's grandparents. They live up in Fortuna and you're in the Eureka area. So that's basically where it's set. You get the cool, nice vibes there. And then we would drive down to Founder's Grove on the Avenue of Giants, and it was like being transported somewhere else, like you were hiding from the world in there, and it was just redwoods and sorrels and greens and browns and reds, and it was beautiful and enchanting, and I absolutely loved it. And every time we go up to Fortuna, I tell them we have to go there.
If you are looking for a vacation, I would highly recommend it. You feel like you're in another world.
Yes, and that's where Star Wars, what is it? The one where they're on Endor and they're flying through all
Oh,
these great
yeah.
places. That's where it was filmed.
Yeah.
So it's very greeny. It's almost like a rainforest, and I think it kind of is. I'd have to look it up again.
Yeah, it might be, but yeah, you're right. I forgot that was the stand-in for Endor. Yeah, so you can get your Star Wars on, put on your outfits, and
Yeah,
go up and have some what do you call them? Lightsaber battles.
yeah,
That
yeah.
actually sounds fun. Now I want to go do that. Oh, so that was the first one. So
Mhm.
Visions and Lies. Excuse me, My Favorite Potion was the first one, and then you just came out. Yeah,
Yes.
if you're on the video here, we're both holding up our covers of Visions and Lies, and look at that cover. It is absolutely
Fun
beautiful.
fact, that's a crystal ball
Yeah, and then it's
surrounded in
got
water.
splash of water around the crystal
Yeah.
ball and flowers,
A lotus, and there's a body in
crystals.
the water. This just came out on August. It's
August.
about Willa who takes care of her grandmother by day, but at night she does seances to help families move on from the dead or, help them resolve their feelings. She also does some tarots with crystals. She uses a lot of enchantments to do all of this stuff. So it's not like quite tarot as we know it, but it's like a crystal tarot where the stones and the magic in them point you on the path that each way can go. And the tarot cards usually just get the people to open up about it. Anyway, the inciting moment is that the state of California declares this woman dead after being missing for 5 years, and her parents want closure and they want to find her familiar. And so she does a seance, and she actually has like the elite of Starglen at the table holding hands. And she's like, oh crap. And when they ask where the spirit stone is, that's what a familiar's anchor is to this world. She says it's here, and that just blows everything up. And then all of a sudden, she's got people coming after her and trying to figure out what she knows. And she's like, well, crap. And I've got to solve this murder before I'm next.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I get chills.
Yeah.
I love mysteries, murder mysteries. I love magic thrown in. Uh,
Yeah.
this one, I am on page. I have not finished this one yet. Where am I? I'm only on page 40. We went off on a cruise and I meant to bring it with me. And I was so bummed when I got there and realized it was not in my suitcase. But thankfully, I had the internet for a couple of minutes and was able to download some lesser books. And I plowed
Yeah,
through
it's a
those thinking,
chonker.
I know it's like, I wish I had this one. I do. But so I will be so excited. I'm going on a couple of cruises. My husband's a travel agent, if you're not a regular listener. So he drags me all over the world, and which is really nice, but I'm really tired.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bring it along with me. Oh God, I'm scrolling through. What I love, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to show, okay, so let me do it run early because I don't want to give anything away. I'm going to just show
Mm,
the first page. So if you look at the first page here, she's got these gorgeous illustration at the top of the page.
yeah. And
And
her
so
eyes
each,
with a crystal.
yes, the eyes with the crystal, and then the stars hanging down from the top of the page. And then I think you have something different. You have alternating points of view.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Rex
So
has a different picture.
yeah, and then there's this one for him if you are. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to show the words. So there's his if you are watching on video.
Yeah, that's the closest I could figure out how a spell working would look because casters have to draw out sigils and runes and the astrological signs and whatnot to get things done. And that's why they have familiars because that takes a long time to write. But with familiars, you have to sketch out that spell working for a year and a day for it to get absorbed into your spirit familiar. And then you just call them and whatever. And they do it. I love the familiar part because they get animals and the more spells they know, the bigger they get. So like you could have like a giant moth or Cracky Chan who is in there. He's a duck. He's huge. He's like the size of a baby hippo, I think. I can't remember exactly how big I say he is, but yeah.
How long does it take you to put together your magic system?
This one, well, it's easier now because it's already said and done, but oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I know I sat on the couch with markers and everything, and I just doodled and drew and figured it out. And I think it took me a few, I don't want to say that it didn't take me long at all because it felt like it took me long. I spent a lot of hours on it, but I guess I just crunched it all at once. And
I love how you do you have a notebook nearby? We don't have to show the interior, but kind of show the edges where you take everything and yeah, to explain your system for outlining. I really
this
love
is
her
my
system.
this is my book Bible. And so I have plot points, which is basically things that I did. And I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. And so I write it down for me to address in a later when I'm editing. And then I have all the what's going on with people, like their favorite things, what is that personality test where you find out if you're a introvert, you're like, oh, a logistician. I can't speak, but you know what I'm talking about. Right. Yeah. So I take that and I put that all in there and I have their quirks in there and things that they might say a lot and their favorite foods. And apparently this is going to be a mixed drink type of thing because there's been a new mixed drink in every in every book. So there's that and leave that. And I also have a master. I actually have this right next to me because I'm currently plotting another book. And this is my master book. So
Yeah.
so this has, the general information, the flower market, the nettles, people that I have on here and then names that I've used in case I need to go. And I actually have, and then recurring roles like police departments and TV personalities and the magic system. And then furthermore down, alchemy, casting, and enchanting. And
That's a really good. I'm a huge believer in outlining. For me,
yeah,
outlining works great because I've tried doing, pantsing, and then I spend so much time. I spent a year on book 4 of my June Nash series, rewriting everything because I didn't outline it, and
yeah.
oh
Yeah, I learned when I was, basically learning my craft and discovering my voice, which, I don't think you ever finish discovering your voice. But while I was, doing all that big writing and then shelved it, I pantsed the first novel and it came up to be like something like, it was ridiculously big, like 240,000 words. And I had to work on it so much. And I got it down to like 180 or something. And I pants that thing and I looked at it recently and it was like 13 drafts and I was like, gosh. And compared to like my 5 or 6 drafts of the books that I didn't pants.
yeah, yeah. And everybody has to write their own way. I do know
Hmm.
people that can sit down and they can pants it and they don't end up with 50 drafts and or having to cut 100,000 or 200,000 words. And that's great. But, if you're having trouble pantsing, please try outlining. And I like my outlines, I have whiteboards and you can kind of see the one. Don't read it because it's my current book and it'll spoil things. I don't know if you can read that or not. Don't read it.
Not really.
But I have my whiteboards and I make my outlines and I write down like chapter 1 and 3 main things that happen in chapter 1, chapter 2, 3 main things. And then my books are usually around 27 chapters. So I will write 27 chapters. I'll have them out ready for outline. And a lot of times I will jump to number 27 and say, okay, this is how it ends. And then I'll work backward. And then the middle portion, it'll be like, okay, these 3 things happen over these 8 chapters. And then I start writing. And then as I'm working, I adjust my outline as I go. Every time I finish a chapter, I adjust my outline and that gets me through. But I can't just sit down and go, yeah, I just have to write continually through. You have to write your first draft fast and get through your first draft doesn't work for everyone. So if it
No.
doesn't work for you, don't do it.
It kind of works for me. I do a chapter a day, and depending on how many chapters I have in a book, it can take me anywhere, from 28 days to 40
But you
days.
do you do all kinds of outlining and you
I
really
do.
understand what you're doing before you sit down. So in that case, I would say, yeah, then it works because you know what's
Yeah,
happening.
I also leave room for myself because I don't think I'm a severe outliner. I think I'm more of a plantser to where I have to get everything down. I have to know what I'm writing, but if something goes a different way, I don't fight it.
Yes, yes. And I saw someone talking on TikTok. I think it was TikTok recently about they had writer's block, and I replied, "There's no such thing as writer's block. If you can't move forward, it means your story doesn't work. Go a different direction. Go to a blank page, take the last line that worked, and continue forward. Go in a different way." And she did it, and she went, "Oh my God, that worked." Yes, but it took
Yeah,
me a long time to realize that.
yeah, I have an issue. I have had issues like that before where it's like I wrote the chapter the way that I outlined it and then like maybe a chapter or two later because sometimes that doesn't block you for a little bit. I'm just like what the heck is wrong? And you go back and it's like this isn't working. And it does cause sometimes that doesn't happen while I'm actively drafting. Usually that happens while I'm editing because if I go backwards, I can't move. I'll just never progress. I learned that really fast. I
Yeah.
go back and I fix that chapter, then all of a sudden everything is unlocked and I can move forward.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the longer you write, the more you understand how you write, and you just have to pay attention to what works for you and what doesn't work for you,
Hmm.
and do not listen to other people who say you have to do this, you have to do that. And anytime anybody ever starts anything with you, you have to
Yeah.
stop listening. The only thing you have to do is stay hydrated and get up from your table periodically to stretch your legs.
Breaks are
I'm
so
sorry, if you can
important.
walk. If you can't, then move away from your chair if you can to a
Yeah.
new location. And
Yeah.
when I used to write in the wild, before I had an office, I would go to Starbucks. I would all of a sudden get to a point where didn't know what to do next. I would pack up my computer, and as soon as I turned my computer off, I knew what to do next. And I would make notes on my phone as I drove to another coffee shop to start again. So I think it's just resetting your brain by moving. Like when you walk into a different room and you can't remember why you're there, your brain has reset.
Or that's just a sign we're in a simulation.
Oh my God, probably.
We're all in
Yeah.
The Sims.
I want to find where my coins are in the treasure chest. I mean, I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
I want to jump on the treasure chest and get enough money to, I don't know, go back to the North Woods. Because now I want to go back to Northern California and hang out, go to the Pacific Northwest. My daughter used to live in Seattle and right on Puget Sound, and it was right around the corner from her apartment. And it was just beautiful to drive over there and just sit in the parking lot and stare at the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. That's really, really pretty. When we visit my husband's family, we go to this one state park, and I'm not going to say what it is because I always call it what it's not. But it's got these cliffs, and you can just watch the waves break up against it. It's got a pebble beach, and there's a sea glass. I sometimes look for sea glass with my mother-in-law, but it's just really, really peaceful. He took me on a trail the last time we were there, and we were going by all these eucalyptus trees, and I saw a starfish.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just amazing.
yeah. There's something about the water. Years ago, more than, let's see, 2012 to 2014, we lived in Key West. And so it's left 11 years ago. Wow. And we lived right on the water. We rented. I could never afford to live there, but my husband worked down there. So it's the only reason we were there.
Yeah.
But we loved it. And sitting on the water with my tea every morning and watching all my little fish that lived along our seawall. It was just amazing just to sit there and drink my tea and just relax. I mean, it reset my day every day. It was just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, Star Glen is not your first series.
No, it isn't.
So, and I think I have one here. Oh, I have book 6 here. I have them
Oh,
in hardcover, and I bought them all in hardcover because I just love hardcover books.
yeah.
I loved this series. It was so much fun. And of course, I just love magic. But this one's about genies.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is definitely needs to be read in order. It's, basically this woman doesn't realize she isn't human until her sleazy ex-fiance tricks her into a genie bottle and makes a wish on her to clear his gambling debts.
Men.
Men, exactly. He gets his, and it just sparks this whole series of self-actualize, finding out who she is. And discovering her magic and why it happened because she was cursed born, so to speak, and her magic is bad luck. So she thinks it and something bad happens.
Yes, I loved her snark. I mean, somebody would
Yeah,
do something or say something and she'd have a snarky thought and
boom.
they were
It
cursed.
would happen. Sometimes it didn't happen right away, and it would happen like a little bit later, but it definitely would happen.
Yeah. And that was fun because as I was reading, I kept thinking, oh, I don't like this person. Think something about them. And then she would.
Like she did give someone fleas in their crotch area.
Yeah. Very good. They're very funny. And there's 6 books in the series.
Yeah, this is the first book. It's Bad Luck Genie. Genie is a derogative term in the Ginny world, but she doesn't know that. So, of course, she's very much being offensive all the time,
It doesn't realize.
unintentionally offensive too. But yeah, it's urban fantasy. It's fast paced, slow burn spice, but throughout the whole thing, it has a healthy romantic relationship.
And yeah, and so it's a lot of will they or won't they throughout the
Mm,
series.
when will they?
When will they? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's more, yeah, because eventually, just because of the way they feel. And I really like, I don't think it's giving anything away to say that they accidentally get bound together.
Oh, oh yeah. The first book they get bound together because she's like, I don't remember exactly how she says it, but she's like, relax. Oh, she's already got them shot at and they ran out of gas. So she's like, relax. It's not as if we're bonded together and boom, it
And then they
happens.
are. So then they can hear each other's thoughts.
He can hear hers, so she gets the short end of the stick. And
That's
so
right.
when
She
she's
couldn't hear.
having
Yes.
pervy thoughts about him, he gets really ticked off with her because, it's uncomfortable to hear someone objectify you all the time.
They have a fun relationship, and I love her um, fixation on pizza.
Ah, yes,
And that's some
yes,
of your character art above. If you're watching on video, there is
yeah.
Lucy with Mal
Lucy and
and her
Mal,
pizza
and
oven.
pizza is a big deal in our house. We have it almost every Sunday.
And you have a pizza oven in your backyard, right?
Yeah, we do. We have a one of those portable rock. What are they called? Rock box, rock blocks, whatever. It's a portable pizza oven, and we yeah. Although it gets really stinking hot outside, so
When Williams Sonoma was still a store, I don't even know if they're around anymore, but
they are.
they used to be at our mall,
Hmm.
and I would walk by and see those and go, oh, Lucy has that pizza oven. I want the pizza oven. But we really don't eat much pizza, and when we do, we go to California Pizza Kitchen. We we're friends with the manager, so we'll go, and sometimes he'll join us and chat with us. And it's the one near us. It's so good, and the thin
Hmm.
crust pepperoni. Oh,
Mm.
and now we want pizza. We usually go on Sunday, and this Sunday is Packers playing the Cowboys. And so Micah Parsons was traded from the Packers to, excuse me, from the Cowboys to the Packers. Whole big thing. If you're a Packers fan, you're very excited about this because Micah Parsons has something to prove to the Cowboys by helping to kick their butts into oblivion. I'm hoping that it's going to be a huge lopsided score for the Packers' victory. All right, well, enough football. Can you give us just a little teeny taste of what the third Star Glenn novel will be about?
Oh, okay. I'm still in the world building phase of it, so like I barely have a name for the girl, and it's going to be about a florist who had a really shitty breakup.
Okay.
Yeah, he stole her dog, and she doesn't have a place to live. She buys this building. She's mortgaged to the hilt about it, and she's very bitter and grumpy and feral. She's feral. It's mostly going to be about someone who has lost all hope and regains their power.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that all your books end in a nice positive note. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
I'm
definitely happy ever after or happy for now.
happy for now. Well, I'm excited. When do you think? I think you take about a year for your books before they come out.
Yeah. Yes, typically, although with Bad Luck Genie, it was almost every other 6 months. So
It
you never
was.
know if this one really takes off because sometimes I hate drafting. So like writing the words fresh on the page, I just it's more difficult for me than editing. In fact, I look forward to editing all the time. I'd rather edit than write.
Same. When I think I wrote one book and you wrote three
Mm,
in the time it took me to write one. It's like,
mm.
gosh darn it. But we can't compare ourselves to others because we all work differently. Even though we do
Yes,
compare
yes.
ourselves to others. Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy, as everyone says, and
Yes,
it's
it
easier
is.
said than done because like I always compare and you shouldn't compare your unfinished draft or your unpolished book to something that's already published because that had everything.
Yeah.
And it's really just you're just going to set yourself up for disappointment if you do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good advice. So, yeah, if you are working on a book, just keep working and do not compare yourselves to others. And I will try not to do the same. So, okay. You have a newsletter, right?
Yeah, I do. It
Okay.
goes out monthly. I promote a handful of indie authors, and there's a couple of promos with tons of indie authors in them. And That's pretty much about all that it is I talk about where I am in my writing stage at the moment, if anything big is happening in the writing world, which I have to admit, it's gotten a bit toxic, so I have muted a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it
You
has.
have to protect yourself.
Yes.
And then, I just give a little update on our little community cat going-ons, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're almost up to 100 cats this year of trapping and neutering and releasing.
That's
And I think
great.
half of them went to shelters to be adopted. We also happened to reunite a lost cat with their
Nice.
owners, and that they were separated for a couple of months because it got out while they were moving to a new place.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it was kind of all hope is lost, but she found him. He stunk to high heaven, and she did not care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Your husband has a rescue group?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They've, I mean, it was at one point, how many cats did you say? It was 100 now that you've
This
trapped?
year. This year alone, we're close to 100.
Wow.
Last year, we got up to 60, and that's when we first really started doing it and getting like the community together. Like it was weird how it all happened. It was like, and you know those city Facebook groups and everything like that. Someone was complaining about a cat, and I don't know exactly where it went, but somehow we all got together. We met at the library and we formed a group. And now my husband's the president and I'm the first lady. But I have to actually be pretty distant with it because I'm a sucker.
Yeah. You have how many cats now?
We have four. We have four, but I do get to help name the cats, and we're doing a bake sale later this week, and so I'm baking a bunch of cookies and whatnot to help sell there.
Oh,
But that's
nice.
about
Nice.
as involved as I get. But they stay in the garage. Sometimes I feed them. I tell them how cute they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm allergic to cats.
yeah,
Otherwise, I would swing by. We're only like 8 states apart, and I
yeah.
would grab a cat. We'll put down if there's a rescue association
Mm,
website, we'll put that down also in
yep,
case
yeah. We
anybody
we
is interested.
definitely accept donations too.
Yeah.
We've got that all set up. So it really helps because it gives us litter, it gives us food, it gives us the money to get them fixed and, takes care of all their medical bills, get them fixed and vaccinated. And right now we're working with the city council to get another deal with the ARL, the Animal Rescue League, so that we can get a discount of these vet things to get it down even further. Because right now it's all out of pocket and it's like
Oh,
$60, $70 a cat.
yeah.
So it adds up very fast. But if we get this deal, it'll be good. And then trapping will be legal because right now it's not legal.
It's not legal to trap.
No, it is not legal to do that. So we ask permission for whoever lives on the property if we can trap there. And if they say no, we're SOL.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say we've got rogue people going out there and doing it anyway, but it does kind of feel like we're a bunch of cat burglars.
So, Smoke and Magic series, which was the first series, and then the My Fair Potion,
Mhm.
and the new lovely Visions and Lies. They're all for sale, and they are some of these are in KU.
Yeah, the Urban Fantasy series is in KU, and Star Glen is wherever you collect books.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I will put everything we talked about in the show notes, and you can find AE. And if you like cats, donate to their cat rescue after you've bought one of her books. And it's great to see you again. And you got to come on one more time to the next time we do a writing prompt
Sure.
show. So
Yes, I
I'm
love your writing prompts because they help me figure things out real easy with some people. Like I didn't know my main character in My Fair Potion was that bitter until I did that. I was like, whoa.
And we have a new book out. I'm going to show a picture of it, which is
Oh, that
World
looks great.
Building, Writing Jump Starts. I'm going to let you go, and I will see you later.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, AE. Everything we talked about, you'll find down in the show notes. Go ahead and join her newsletter, grab a book or two, and donate to those kitties in need. And that's it for this week. I'll be back with another great show next time. And until then, go read a good book. The Books Cube theme music was written by Laura Lynn Hardy. She performed the vibraphone. Billy Tyke Miller performed percussion, and it was recorded at Mills Kids Recording in Huntsville, Alabama.